Former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot was hired by the trustees in Dolton, Illinois, to assess the state of the finances of this South suburban town. Well, she left the residents dumbfounded after revealing her findings of an investigation into Mayor Tiffany Henyard's alleged egregious misuse of funds. Dolton trustees hired Lightfoot as a special investigator to investigate the allegations against the mayor. On Thursday night, Lightfoot revealed to residents the extent of Henyard's alleged misuse. Lightfoot stated that in April 2022, Dolton's general fund balance was $5.61 million. Not now.
Ladies and gents, this is the moment you've waited for.
This has been a challenging investigation, to say the least, because we have not received the level of cooperation from the mayor and her team that I would have hoped. Nonetheless, we've had, I think, a breakthrough that's allowed us to be here in front of you today to give you the information that I know that the trustees for sure and the members of the public have been seeking for some time. Many of you know that the village's fiscal year runs from May 1 to April 30th. So it's those 12 months, but they span 2 years. Certain financial disclosures are mandated under state law that the village reports to the comptroller of the state each fiscal year. Two documents that we're going to talk specifically about are the annual financial report, and you see the citation there, it's a state law, and the audited financial statements. The village has not, and let me repeat that, the village has not complied with these statutory requirements since fiscal year 2021. There's no annual financial report available after 2021 and no audited financial statements after 2021. So what that means is the information that we're providing you has not been thoroughly audited by a CPA, but we do have information coming from an entity that essentially serves as the finance department of the village. Historically, from what we can tell, the village has had small or no full-time financial staff. At various times, even though statutorily there's a provision for a city treasurer, none exists and hasn't for some time. There's a provision for a finance director. There's been intermittent people that have served that role, but that role has been vacant as of May of this year. And before that, the person who held the role started working part-time as of the end of December in 2023. So as of May 30th of this year, the village's general fund was in a net deficit position, meaning that there is insufficient funds in that general fund. As we mentioned, the general fund is used to account for the majority of the village's day-to-day operations, including payroll and vendor payments. The village's special revenue fund and debt service fund, however, are in a positive position, but each of those funds are restricted funds, meaning you cannot borrow from one to give to the other. And that is what's causing, in part, the financial crisis. What's next you can see is a graphic that depicts where we started as of April, where the village started as of April of 22, with positive of $5.6 million in the general fund, and where we are as of May of 2024, which is a negative $3.65 million.
Mayor Lightfoot, if I may.
Yes.
Just kind of as a summary now, just quick numbers. So in a 2-year span, we're talking about a $9 million swing or $9 million of deficit over that course of time. Would that be most accurate?
Yes, sir.
You have nothing.
Joining us right now is Kiana Belcher. She is a trustee for the city of Dolton. Trustee Belcher, glad to have you here. So, all right. So this report, was it delivered in the council meeting or was it delivered in this secondary council meeting y'all have because Henyard controls the actual council meeting?
The report was delivered in a special board meeting. A special board meeting, as long as it's called by 3 trustees and we have a quorum, we can move forward with conducting business. So it was sent to every member of the board, and it was a special board meeting held at the Dalton Park District because once again, we have been locked out the Village Hall.
So you had a surplus, now you're in a deficit. What the hell is her response?
Right now, we don't have a response from her. If you've been watching or anybody has been watching over the last 3 years, we've been requesting information. We've been locked out of our My Viewpoint, which is the accountant for transparency of where invoices and receipts go. We kind of had an idea that we were in bad shape, but to see those numbers revealed last night was gut punching. It was sickening, and it just was a hard pill to swallow that a group of people have put us in this financial debt.
Say a group of people, when she was on this show, she claimed she knew nothing about this foundation. Then we found out that everybody who was tied to it had a direct relationship with her. One guy worked for the city as well as for the township. He's been indicted by the feds. And so, I mean, you know, what does that tell you that she will brazenly lie like that?
Absolutely. She has been lying to the residents all the time. She's a recalled mayor. She has been recalled. She kept promising things to people. She was doing things without board approval. Saying that there was a $6.8 million grant and all these grants was coming when we knew that, we had an idea that none of those funds had been deposited in the account. She's a habitual liar. She can't help herself.
When you say that she's been recalled, what does that mean?
The Village of Dolton went through a recall process at election in 2022, and the residents recalled her to try to put her out of her seat.
Okay, that was in 2022. This is 2024. Yes. What happened? Was it a new election supposed to be scheduled?
Our next election is not until February of 2025. So she was able to retain her seat as the elected mayor until her term is up.
How? But she was recalled. I'm confused.
The judicial system sometimes doesn't work in our favor. They said it was based on the technicality that you couldn't place a recall and the mechanism and recalling her at the same time. But it was obviously obvious that the citizens wanted her gone.
Wow. So she hasn't responded to this report about Mayor Lightfoot. First of all, the report by Lightfoot, that's been paid by the city of Dolton, correct?
That will be, yes, that's correct.
Okay. So she's offered no response thus far, huh?
No. And what amazes me is that on Monday's meeting, while we had discussions about laying people off, because since we have been getting some contact with the CPA, which they were at one point not giving us information, they were saying we had to do hard cuts. We had to cut back on spending. We made provisions to get the spending for the credit card furrows. We put a limit on it. So we have started taking actions to try to stop some of this bleeding. But she came to the meeting with 2 federal criminal attorneys. So if you're not doing anything wrong, why would you be coming to a municipal meeting with federal attorneys?
So what's next? This was a preliminary report, so there's more work to be done from Mayor Lightfoot, and then all of the information will be the information that we have been turned over to higher authorities, and we're looking to see if there's anything criminally that we can move forward with pressing charges. All right then. Well, Trustee Belcher, we appreciate it. Keep us updated.
Thank you so much for having me, Roland.
All right, thanks so much.
Yeah, it's rewind time.
Hey, y'all, come look at this. So I want to set the record straight. I don't have a foundation. I am a supporter of anybody that's struggling with cancer. My mom had breast cancer, and I'm always push anybody that has that. If someone uses my name to push their charity, or if you say this is Tiffany t-shirt, people gonna buy it. Because right now I'm considered what? Clickbait. People make money off of my name by views. So you just say my name.
You saying you don't have a foundation?
I do not. And that's why I tell everybody, go do your research. I'm not on anything.
So when we see all of this back and forth, when we see this going back and forth, have you, and I've seen this happen before with school districts, I've seen this happen before with city councils, have you called in the state to come mediate?
Did I call in the state?
Have you reached out to the state to come in and mediate what's going on here? So I've seen school boards where you have lots of drama, and Texas Education Agency, comes in and deals with that. You're having these issues there. Have you reached out to state lawmakers? Have you reached out to state representatives, senators to say, hey, how can we resolve these issues? Because if they're not paying bills, if legal fees are piling up, that's just more taxpayer money being spent.
Correct. And yes, we have. So maybe 2 people might have reached out to us in the beginning. We was doing kumbaya. We was having meetings, and we was talking about what we have an issue with one another. The sad thing is, it just reminds me of high school. It's just a he say, she say thing. Well, I don't like you because of this, or I don't understand this. It was more of that than basically taking care of the business of the town. We got elected to serve. That's it. We didn't get elected to make sure we like one another. And that's why I get upset with people that are in government. I want them to put their difference to the side and do what's right for the people. That's it. That's why I'm in this seat, because I care about my town. I won by 82% because people know and they saw me doing the work.
So so let's talk about, because I've read different stories and I'm trying to understand what they mean. So let's talk about a meeting. Your critics say you came dressed up as Nino Brown playing Bitch Better Have My Money. Did that happen?
Oh, wow. Okay, so let me clear that up so we can understand. I did not come as Nino Brown. I did a scene from Martin. One thing I am, I'm young, so I try to make sure I reach my young voters.
You did a scene from Martin where? Was it Dolton or Thornton Township?
This is Dolton. This is all of the village, really.
Okay, got it.
All the smoke and the heat coming from my mayoral seat, but they mixed the two because people don't understand the difference between the two. But I did come as a scene from Martin. I even made fun about it and did a skit and posted it on my TikTok just to show people my sense of humor side. Because at the end of the day, you got to meet the voters where they are. You got to meet the youth where they are. And that it did work. People pay attention to the meetings. They come in, they check out and see what's going on. And just give you a little more clarity of it. We had an election. And I was being funny about it. Somebody knows something, meaning somebody knew where the votes went. During the election, the night of the election, we won, meaning one of our candidates. And then come like a week or 2 later, all of a sudden the votes disappeared. So somebody took all the votes through mail-in ballots. So I went in and I was like, somebody knows something. That's all it was. And it was before my meeting, not during my meeting. And you can watch it, you'll see it was before. Everybody laughing, even the people that's into it with me. Everybody laughed, because that's all it was. It was just a sense of humor, and they took it and flipped it into this big thing that you see.
Yo, hit that like for a deal with Christian. Yo, for a deal with Christian. Smash that bell for DWC. Yo, smash it, just smash it. Hit that like for a deal with Christian. For a deal with Christian, smash that bell for DWC. Yo, smash it, just smash it. Hit that like for a deal with Christian.